Principles and Practice of Surveying. Question and answer review. Question number 13. Before closing on a new house, the buyers have requested a rush order flood hazard certification survey. What is the most reliable method instrument available for this survey? Let me tell you a quick story. I found a woman who is reported to me in Texas who offers flood hazard surveys for the low price of $99. And she is also the fastest flood hazard survey woman in the history of the world. She can produce any flood hazard survey in 24 hours in the entire state of Texas. 24-hour turnaround, $99. That absolutely terrifies me, and I hope that you guys will not offer the same services. That's just a public service announcement. Now, getting back to our question, you are asked to do one of these surveys. And the question here is, well, what kind of instrument, what kind of method will you use? Establish a benchmark on the subject parcel using a static GNSS, and then you can level around based on the static. Run a trig level from an NGS benchmark to the property. Establish a benchmark on the subject parcel using RTK GNSS, and then use a differential level, obviously. And then fourth, differential level from NGS benchmark to the property. You've got several options here. Are you going to choose differential leveling, trig leveling, static GPS, or RTK? Let's go through and let's discuss some of these methods, and then once we go through these methods, maybe you'll be able to determine with a little better choice.
You upsize your food, so why not upsize your study materials? The NLC Combo has everything you need to pass the FS, PS, or Texas RPLS exams. Combos include a full-length hard copy exam book, a pre-programmed HP 35 calculator, and a fully online prep course that includes a full-length practice exam. That's 2 full exams that cover every topic you'll face on test day. Upsize to a combo and upsize your future career today.
Differential leveling uses a spirit or differential level to run from the NGS benchmark to the house and then do the house flood measurements. Differential leveling is very precise. I mean, this is down to the centimeters or the millimeters. And depending on your equipment, it is extremely accurate. But it's also very time consuming. You know, you run a mile from the benchmark to the house, that could take you half a day, if not all day. Second choice, we could GPS a benchmark into the property, and then from that benchmark, just level around the house very quickly. Static GPS is accurate. It's not as accurate as differential leveling, and it takes you maybe 2 hours to observe, but it's pretty darn accurate. Not bad. Third, RTK GPS. RTK GPS is a modern marvel. We can establish a XYZ location within 30 seconds on the property. But RTK GPS is not quite as accurate. It's not so great measuring elevations. And we are doing a flood hazard survey that is based on nothing more than elevations. And fourth, trig leveling. Trig leveling has been shown recently to be very accurate. But trig leveling requires an expensive total station. Trig leveling requires some serious knowledge. You got to be very well practiced to do trig leveling. And trig leveling lets you run longer distances. So it's faster than differential leveling, but it requires more knowledge, more care, and more expensive equipment. So differential leveling takes some time, but it's very accurate. Static GPS is not quite as accurate as differential leveling, but it's pretty good, and it's maybe not quite as long as differential leveling. RTK GPS is dangerous for elevations, and trig leveling is pretty good, but it requires expensive equipment and special knowledge. So what would you choose? And this is a tough question because A lot of these are good answers, but what is the best? And in my opinion, the best answer is to choose differential leveling from NGS benchmark to the property. Why? Because it protects you. Differential leveling is an industry standard practice for establishing elevations. It's very accurate, and it requires relatively inexpensive equipment. I would not choose trig leveling because the equipment's too expensive and it takes too much knowledge. I would not choose RTK because RTK is not the best for elevations. And I would not choose static because it takes too much time and it's not quite as accurate as differential leveling. Are there instances where you could use any of these four to do good flood certificates? Absolutely. There are many people who use RTK and do a good job with these types of surveys, but if I had to choose, knowing everything I know today, I would choose D, differential leveling. Would you like even more great content on the Principles and Practice exam? Please join me at NLC Prep/PS for a full-length, completely up-to-date PS prep course where we go over every major PS topic in gory detail, and we teach you all the essentials you need to know to pass the PS exam on the first try. Join me at nlcprep.com/PS.